So I was perusing Reddit today and I came across this interesting story someone posted. When I first saw it, I thought it was from recent news, but it doesn't look like anyone has repicked this up, except I did find something surprisingly from Politico. So I'm going to link to that because that kind of negates any reason to do a ton of investigating or background checking on the story outside of the little web searches and things I did, because if Politico's carrying it and it's against a Democrat, it's probably true. So with this Biden scandal, whatever you want to call it, that's going on right now, the big defense of the mainstream media is, oh, he didn't do anything. It had nothing to do with his son being under investigation. The guy was just corrupt and he just wanted to get rid of him. He was tasked with going after corruption. Which, okay, on the surface, initially, I'm fine with that conclusion. But if you peel back just a couple layers, it's very suspicious. And I'm talking about the Hunter Biden situation right now, the situation that President Trump asked in the phone call for him to look into, for the president of Ukraine to look into. So I initially said, okay, fine. He was just going after corruption. So the first question is, was there actually investigations going on directly into his son, or at very least into his son's company that he worked for? That, again, let's point out, he was appointed to a high-level position, making $600,000 a year in a field he had zero experience in. He had zero experience. Also, mainstream media has pointed this out because they use it in their defense. Joe Biden was tasked as the point man in Ukraine. So it's just a coincidence that his son with zero experience gets this high-level job at a apparently known corrupt company. So that's suspicious right there. There were investigations. Apparently there were two. There were three total, apparently, but one of them was not active, and that's the one the mainstream media likes to keep bringing up, even though there were two other ones that involved this company, because, again, apparently they were known as a corrupt company. So my next question is, okay, so the video of Biden's pretty bad. He basically says that he extorted Ukraine for $1 billion to do something that he wanted done. And that was to remove a prosecutor and, in his words, put in someone who's solid. That's what he said. Someone who's solid. So the next question is, did that person who was solid drop the investigations? Oh, yep. Investigations dropped. That's corrupt. There's way more evidence that he did it to protect his son than the other way around, that it was just a coincidence. And it was just, it was optically bad, but there was no malice behind it. There's way more evidence in the facts that say that he did this specifically to take away investigations into a company his son worked for, that he had a job that he had no business having, that possibly would have rolled up to them starting to ask those questions. Why are you on this? Why are you in this position other than your last name? Okay, so there's that. That's pretty obviously corrupt move by Biden. Ethically dicey. I don't know the law. I'm not going to sit here and say it was illegal. Feels like it should be, but I don't know. So let's go to this other story that, again, there was something, an article on Reddit that I saw, and then when I went back and looked, I realized it's actually from 2012. So the story came out in 2012. It was in October, right before one of the presidential debates, that Biden's brother, his little brother, was working for this company that was up for what the president of the company said was going to be worth $1.5 billion to the company. They were up for a government bid from the Iraqi government. So once again, this is weird. Biden's brother gets put into I believe on the board of this company that he has no experience. He has no work experience in what they do, which they're some kind of residential consulting company for construction. He has no experience, yet he gets, again, another Biden getting a high-level position in a job that apparently they have no business doing. Also, he got this appointment in 2010. They were up for this bid in 2011. So it seemed to be directly related. Even the president of the company was even bragging that, oh, it really helps to have the VP's brother working for you. I'm sorry, as a partner. So the other thing about this that makes this even worse is not only did he work for the company at a fairly high-level position, he also was a partner in a firm that owned 60% of the company, and I believe it was 5 guys that owned 60% of the company that he worked for. So he was getting a windfall on 2 different sides. He was going to get a windfall because the company he worked for was going to get this huge contract. And then, on top of that, he was going to get a really big windfall for being a majority stock owner of this company. I gotta change this. It's making my face look weird. It's like blurring out a big chunk of my face. Oh, it helps if I put my hand up there. Alright, I don't know. My face is going to look funky on this video, apparently. Samsung needs to get it together, because I know it's a little weird on my shoulder sometimes and things like that. But so anyway, so he's a stakeholder, going to get a huge windfall. This comes up during the president. I don't know if it was brought up during the debate or not. That was kind of, there was some coverage by Fox about this, saying they had already been dinging the Obama administration. I believe Paul Ryan was set to debate Joe Biden, and they'd already been dinging them about some crony capital, the Solyndra thing, which was just, I mean, god awful. And then, funny enough, it took like a year, and then they did eventually get awarded this contract. So now we have 2 stories that I'm not sure why nobody seems to really have picked up the second one. Hopefully they do, because this not only is a big deal just because of the story, but it also undercuts, again, the mainstream media's argument that, oh, it didn't have anything to do with his son. It was, I mean, how many coincidences do we have to deal with before they say, okay, maybe there was some malice to these decisions that were being made?